Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Eve. All right, well, we've got much more coming up. The Assassin's Creed series has taken us to so many places over the years. And speaking of Assassin's Creed, now it's time to talk a little bit more about Syndicate. Our tour starts now with Game Director Scott Phillips. Scott, how are you?
Good.
Look at that. Eve Demo gets to introduce you here. We were just talking about it.
I thought he would go first, and it was great. He warmed everything up, so I think I'm ready.
Now we're ready to take a look at the game. So you're up in Quebec City.
Yeah, I've been up there, and I think there's a great team that's really super excited about our first Assassin's Creed.
All right, well, let's take a look at some footage here of Syndicate. Now, this game, I think, people love the sort of the tone and the vibe of it. We've had our top hats. When you guys first jumped into, London and this idea of the game, what was the unique flavor that you wanted this Assassins to have?
Well, this is the first modern Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So by bringing it to 1868 London, what we've allowed is new things like the horse and carriage, guns. You're really set in the era. So Assassin's Creed has always been about that sort of historical gameplay that you can experience that era. And so the Industrial Revolution really brought us to this era where there was both a very medieval society as well, in a little bit of London, but then you also have this very advanced center of the universe, London, that's bringing you new steam engines, trains, all sorts of advanced technology that really brings it into a new era that Assassin's Creed has never seen.
Now, Quebec City team this is the first one that you're leading. What is the spin from a gameplay perspective that you guys want to put on Assassins? Because we sort of have the tried and true tropes of Assassins, but now, there's so much possibility in this era in terms of the types of gameplay. What aspects do you think are going to be most unique to fans? Like, it used to be, well, we have, sea gameplay in one, or it's like, other types of things, vehicles. What can we expect in this one that you think is going to be new for Assassin's fans?
So I think the two biggest things would probably be the systemic vehicles.
Yeah.
So they're out throughout the entire city. You can hijack them. You can hide inside them. You can fight on top of them.
Wow.
They're integrated into all three of the pillars.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got the rope launcher, which allows you to scale the tallest buildings in London at the time, which are the biggest buildings ever in an Assassin's Creed, as well as go across our giant streets. So that structure of the city has really changed the flow and the feeling of the game, and really opened it up to be much more modern feeling than some of the very small cities in past AC games where it was very tight. We have a much bigger open city, and that rope launcher really allows you to get everywhere you want very quickly while using the parkour to also seamlessly move around the environment.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating what you guys have done visually with the game this year. And the engine, the graphics technology, feels like there's been sort of a revamp of that this year as well, too, right?
Well, it's definitely an improvement. What we've done is take what Assassin's Creed Unity built as the first next-gen Assassin's Creed and improved on that, as well as bringing in the vehicles. It really changes the way you have to build the game, because not only do you have the thousands and thousands of people that you have in Assassin's Creed Unity, but you also have these vehicles, hundreds of them, driving around the city at any time. So it's definitely a challenge, and we're really excited to bring this. It's the biggest thing for us is setting that 1868 London, taking over the city with your gang, which is the first time you're able to use a gang, and then all of our advanced technology like the rope launcher. It's really a very exciting game.
One thing I wanted to ask you about for Assassins, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but I used to love sort of the more modern day stuff with Desmond and whatnot, and the franchise has moved away from some of that. Do you guys, jumping through time and different time periods, is that going to factor at all into this game?
That's definitely at the core of the franchise and what it's about. We have those elements for sure. I'm definitely a fan of those. I've felt like the future narrative is the way to move things forward, since the past is already mostly set and you're reliving it. So we do move things forward in the overall story of the franchise, as well as bring some new characters, as well as some old favorites back.
Some Abstergo in there somehow?
There's definitely some old favorites and some new characters as well. So it really ties in the whole story.
All right, well, we can't wait to hear more about that Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Can you tell us when it's coming out?
It'll come out in October on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and we are playable at the Ubisoft booth at E3.
All right, well, we will come by and get hands-on with Syndicate. Thank you very much. We're going to head on outside.